Hi, it's Amanda, and it's time for another Tip Tuesday. And today we're going to be talking about what's happening right now for businesses. Whether you're a service or a product-based business, you're trying to navigate through a landscape that feels like it's changing on an almost daily basis. And it's a landscape that none of us was prepared for. We're a few weeks into staying at home, grappling not only with the changes that's brought into our personal routines, but you also might be at a point where some dust is settling around initial decisions that you made as a business owner when all of this first began. It's kind of like that scene from Friends where they're trying to get the couch up the stairs, the pivot scene. And at this point, we don't have an official end date as to when things will return to normal. And the truth is, we don't know what normal will look like when it does return. And I don't know about you, but I think we're all kind of tired of hearing phrases like unprecedented times and uncertain times, but it is our reality right now. So instead, I'm going to start referring to this time as a catalyst because that's kind of what it is. You can treat these coming days, weeks, and months as a positive catalyst for change, maybe the one you've been needing as a reason to act on. Now listen, I don't want you to hear this episode and feel pressure. I think the most important thing to monitor on a daily basis is not your business metrics or your social media insights or your email open rates. It's your mental health. But if you're searching for ideas on how you can transition your services or products online, then let's talk about some solutions that can work for you. Let's talk about a clear, simple, and methodical path you can walk that will help you accomplish this goal. Because the truth is, when things start to feel like they're falling apart or changing, sometimes it's that exact right moment to take a leap. So this process I'm going to walk you through is a 7-step process, and I'm going to break it up into 4 episodes because I really want you to have time to work through each one. And to help you with this process, I've created a resource just for you. It's called the Small Business Online Transition Plan. It's a totally free workbook that you can download at createinspireconvert.com/workbook. You can use this workbook alongside these episodes as you design a plan to keep your business moving forward. And hey, treat it as a bonus. If your business already operates online, the workbook can be a handy tool for organizing your thoughts into a plan to help keep you focused and on pace. Okay, so today we're going to cover just the first 2 steps on that path. They are starting to think long-term, like maybe even revisiting those long-term goals you'd set back on January 1, and then starting to look at your business like you're launching instead of you're kind of trapped in a weird, awkward space. And then the second step is to determine what resources are needed to help make all of this happen. Okay, so first let's talk about thinking long-term and developing a launch plan. Here's what I mean by launch plan. Essentially, everything happening right now is an opportunity to kind of relaunch your business. It's time to take a critical eye to your offerings or your products and decide what's most likely to sell. It's a time to revisit the photography of your products or on your website. It's a time to revisit your website in general, or even your social profiles, and ensure that they're projecting the image that you want to be associated with right now. And if you're running any ads, it's a time to take a look at those ads and make sure that the copy or the imagery isn't tone deaf. It's also a time to check in with your content and make sure it's sensitive, timely, relevant, and helpful. And once you've done all of that, turn your eye to your long-term goals. Maybe you set some at the beginning of the year. Don't throw them out. Just revisit them. How can you keep yourself on track? And what I mean by that is, how can you start innovating right now instead of iterating? You can think about this process in terms of what-if questions. That's kind of how you can get this creative, long-term focus mindset going. So questions like, what if people didn't have to go to my physical store to see what's new, could have an answer like, because I can live stream new inventory when it arrives. Or questions like, what if someone didn't have to get on the phone with me for a quote? What if instead I had a really thorough questionnaire for them to fill out online that would better streamline the process for them and for me? If you download the workbook, there are some exercises you can go through that will help you with this step. And while you're reframing the way that you're looking at your business as a launch right now and keeping those long-term goals in mind, the second step of this path is determine what resources you're going to need to bring all of this to life. What I mean is, if you have employees or contractors working for you, consider how their roles may need to be adjusted right now. So, in terms of resources, ask yourself questions like, do I need to add freelancers to my business? Do I need to hop on Fiverr and see about hiring someone to help add maybe e-commerce functionality to my website? Do I need to set up special accommodations in my physical store? For example, if your store is still considered essential, what do you need to do to ensure that it remains safe? And in terms of your employees or your contractors or anyone that you're working with, ask yourself questions like, do my employees need training on how to work from home? How can I make this transition easier for them and for me? Do I need to create cohorts or groups of people to come in on specific days or times to limit the number of people in my store at a given time? Do I need to provide safety training? Do I need to shift around roles and responsibilities to better leverage specific skills that maybe one employee has that could really shine in one area versus someone in a different area? Again, the workbook has deeper ideas on how to work through this step. And that pretty much wraps it up for these first 2 parts, which is a lot when you start digging into it. Once again, that link for you to download the workbook if you're interested in it is createinspireconvert.com/workbook. I'll be back next week with the next step, which is going to cover what's called your tech stack. We're going to run through some tools, most of which are free to use, that will help bringing your business online easier. Or if you're already online but you aren't totally happy with your setup, you can check out my ideas and see if they help you better refine it. I'll see you then, and thanks for listening.